Hello everyone, and welcome to another GDB video tutorial. Again, GDB is just open source software that you can go ahead and use to debug your programs. In this video, we're going to be looking at using GDB in combination with system calls. In particular, the commands we'll be looking at are set, follow, fork, mode, and then we'll be looking at the child. And then also we'll be looking at info, inferiors, and basically inferiors are just a name GDB uses to go ahead and represent a state of your program. And with that said, let's go ahead and begin. So first, I'm just going to go ahead and show you the program without GDB. So we're just going to go ahead and run that program. So I'm just compiling it right now, and then I'm just going to run a.out. And the actual process or function we're going to be looking at is going to be this new fork function. And it's right here, beginning at line 158. So let's go ahead and run that. And here's what we got. So if we scroll at the top here, we have in this first process, or this first child, when I is 2, it's running ls-al. And then when I is 1, it does -l. And then it just does ls when I is 0. We're actually missing one of the actual processes though. We wanted to run ls-a, and we can see currently it did not actually go ahead and run. And if we look in our code on the left, we have actually 4 particular instances, so 4 processes. So we have when I is equal to 0, when I is equal to 1, and then also when I is equal to 2, and I is equal to 3. And so we're not getting one of these particular processes to run. So now let's go back to the right, and here we're going to go ahead and begin GDB now. So I'm just going to go ahead and compile the program with the -g flag, and then we're going to run GDB a.out. And let's see here. So now what I'd like to go ahead and do is imagine you didn't know the actual lines of some of your functions. The command you can use is just info and then functions. And so yeah, if you don't know the actual name or line number, you can just do info functions to see all the functions that you do have. And we already know that it's going to be the new fork, so let's just go ahead and create a breakpoint there. So break at new fork. And so we do see it went ahead and accepted that breakpoint. Okay, now let's just go ahead and run the program. We're just typing R to go ahead and do that. And now we'll enter 7. And let's see here. So we do have our breakpoint, and let's look. This particular function is passing in a parameter I, and right now it's set equal to 2. Now if we go back to the left and look at our code at line 160, we can see we have a condition when I is equal to 0, I is equal to 1, I is equal to 2, and I is equal to 3. So obviously that's not going to be the case. That's actually the problem we're having. Right now we have I is equal to 2, so we don't have, we're not actually finding that case when I is equal to 3. But in GDB we can go ahead and use the set variable function. But first I'd like to go ahead and follow the actual child process. So first we're going to use set follow, and then fork, mode, and the child, and that did accept. And now we're going to go ahead and set the variable of I equal to 3. And now we'll just go ahead and hit N for next line. And so we're passing the conditions when I is equal to 0, 1, and 2. And now when I is equal to 3, we'll see what happens. And we do go within those brackets. So now we see this process has already begun. And let's just go ahead and continue. And let's look at that. So we did go ahead and run the ls-a now. And so we just basically hard-coded that 3 value within GDB, and now we're able to go ahead and test to see this process did go ahead and execute the way we wanted to. Now we also mentioned another command, and that was actually info inferiors. And by typing that, basically we can just see a little bit of history about the state of GDB. We can go ahead and specify a particular inferior, and let's go ahead and look at inferior 2. And switching to inferior 2, this allows us to go ahead and do run on this particular program, and this time we'll actually go ahead and pass in that flag, so that -a. And you see, went ahead and started that program with the -a. So it's in bin ls, and then we just pass in that ls-a. And so that's about it for this particular tutorial. I wanted it to be fairly short, but just to show you guys that GDB can be used with system calls. So if there's a particular reason you're not getting into a function, you can go ahead and use GDB to go ahead and find out why you're not able to get into a particular function that's running some child process. All right, and thank you for watching.